welcome back to this week's hashtag Finance Friday. This month's focus is on HR, and we're going to cover some of the basic pillars of human resources. And not only that, but also the importance of HR in your business and the tools that you need in order to make sure that you are able to be successful in your day-to-day runnings of your business. So what is HR? Hopefully you know this already. HR is an abbreviation for human resources, and it's the division of a business that is charged with finding, screening, recruiting, and training your job applicants, as well as administering the entire employee wellness and benefit process, right? So if you are a subscriber, welcome back to your favorite Friday date. And if you're new to our Finance Fridays, welcome to the only date that matters on a Friday afternoon. So sit back and make sure that you are taking some notes as we go through this session. So firstly, if you think about the policies that we need to put in place, we must make sure that they are always supporting our HR. Now, in a small business, there are often not enough resources to actually have staff dedicated to each function of your operation solely, right? So you're not necessarily going to have one person responsible for a single area. You're going to have a person that's responsible for many areas. So you might have one or two jack of all trade employees who are filling the role of reception, administration, customer service, payroll, marketing, etc. You get the picture. Or maybe you are the company's go-to person. And I think as chiefs of everything, business owners often feel like they are that go-to person. So having your HR pillars in place is one way to help you make sure that you are managing yourself and identify areas in which you can delegate or potentially hire full-time or part-time people that can help you in this area. So organization policies are like boundaries or structures that we need to have in place for our businesses, much like we do in our personal lives. So think about this. What type of stories are your employees telling about your workplace? This is really important because your employment brand is going to serve as a marketing tool when you seek new clients, when you attract new applicants, and also when you create a presence in your industry and in your business community. These are all policies that you need to have in place. And they won't only help with operational policies, but also make sure they are helping with HR and marketing in the same breath. So here are a key couple of areas that you need to have a look at in terms of your policies. Firstly, you need to look at your organizational policies, your mission, your structure, your culture, very, very important, the size of your organization, as well as operations. So there's a lot of theory that can go around in terms of policies that we need to put in place, right? But we need to try and find ways to take that theoretical knowledge and actually apply it and put it into action so that you can set your team up for success. So there are a couple of areas that I'm going to mention, and I'll just explain it briefly so you can understand what those are. So firstly, if you think about the process in terms of how you are attracting your staff members, it starts with recruitment and selection. So check your recruitment and your job descriptions, and as well as your onboarding contracts. Make sure that it's updated. If necessary, I'm sure that there have been changes during the year, and find the best ways to automate and file your staff information and your files to look at things like job analysis, recruiting. How do you actually go about doing that? What are the selection criteria that you look at, as well as the staffing requirements that you actually have? Secondly, performance management. This is super important. Performance is more than just evaluating the employees' key performance inputs or their KPIs, but also evaluating yourself as the business owner if you have created the kind of working environment that promotes your employees to be successful. So here you can think about things like health and wellness, safety, security, whether that is physical security, whether that is protection from harassment, whether that is digital security. Those are all areas that you need to make sure you are addressing. Then number 3 is looking at learning and development. When you're looking at your challenges for the year, use that time to set out a budget for your staff development. Statistics show that 8 out of 10 employees are normally not incompetent, but rather they lack either the confidence or the knowledge to be effective in the workplace. Now, you will find that in the long haul, you're going to save money and make more profit when you invest in upskilling your team. They always say that it's better to upskill someone and they leave than not upskill them and they actually end up staying, right? So think about introducing things like an orientation program. For us, this has been really vital, making sure that they are onboarded properly into the business. Your employee development, specific training interventions, performance management, as well as HR development as you go. And then number 4 is succession planning, right? we don't like to think about what happens when someone leaves, but we have to be prepared. So not all of us can close up shop for the festive season, and maybe you need to continue operations right throughout the holidays. But due to end of year fatigue, you will have a few team members taking time off work, right? I hope so, at least. Maybe you need to market your holiday hours well ahead of time and, make sure that you're giving every team member a fair opportunity to take time off. And then finally, think about how you are moving these employees through the ranks. Are you promoting them based on the quality of the work or maybe just how much you like them? Are you offering things like equal employment? Are you looking at compliance? And are you looking at diversity within your team? Diversity is so important, whether that's race or personality or skills. We are able to create a much more complementary team if we include a whole range of different people in it, right? And then number 5 is compensation and benefits. So do you have an incentive system in place? Are you able to implement salary increases and benefits for your team? Maybe as a small business, this is a little bit harder and you need to find different ways to be able to incentivize your employees. And it's not always about the money. But in terms of your compensation and benefit policy, make sure that you specifically address how you're dealing with salaries and wages, any incentives, any benefits, any increases, and make sure that whatever is currently in place are aligned with those policies as soon as possible. And that will allow you to reward and acknowledge all those well-deserved acts with ease and transparency. And then number 6 is HR information systems. There are many tools and apps that will be able to assist your company to stay in line with its CRM and its filing. Now, CRM you might know as customer relationship management, but the same thing applies to your employees, right? We need to manage their relationships as well. Now, when you are still a small business and have taken on most of the roles yourself, or maybe you have a group, either way, it's still important that there's a central place of work or data storage to make sure that you're keeping in line with any compliance deadlines that come up, right? So these tools can help you with job analysis, HR planning, HR assessment systems, all of those types of things. So think about the tools that you need in order to manage your team successfully. And then finally, HR data and analytics. We cannot go through this whole process without analyzing the results, right? So start making use of those apps and tools that you're putting in place and collate the information in terms of what you require in terms of the labor laws of your country and make sure that you're aligned and not breaking any rules. So that might mean looking at your leave policies. It could mean a whole bunch of things. So it's best to be safe rather than sorry, right? And the last thing you need is a labor issue at the beginning of the new year, right? So make sure you're updating your HR policies, your employee rights and their privacy policies, as well as looking into the entire labor management relations setup. So this might seem like a slightly heavy topic at the end of the year, but ultimately we want to make sure that we are supporting our employees and that we are able to start on the front foot in the new year. So as usual, make sure that you drop us some comments down below and let us know what sort of issues you are dealing with in terms of HR and maybe how you have used some of the information that we've shared. Maybe share some of your policies. We are all ears about policies, right? It's always good to hear what other people are doing. So if you are new to our #Finance Friday community, make sure that you are subscribing, following us, whatever, and make sure that you tune in for next week's session as we delve a little bit deeper into human resource management. We'll see you then. Bye.